husband and I were together for 8 years, 4 years dating, 4 years married, and I decided to move out in February. And do you want to know how many times in the now 3 months that we've been separated that he's begged me to come back, told me how much he loves me, how much he wants to make it work, how much he misses me and our dog? Zero.
Now, at this point in the video, like you, I was like, okay, what's the problem? But let's continue, because there's always context. I always like listening to context. It helps.
It actually took less than a week for me, moving out for him to be on Tinder.
You broke up with him, he ended up on Tinder, but somehow you found them on Tinder. Does that mean that you were also on Tinder as well? So were you trying to move away, or were you trying to find them on Tinder? Like, which one is it there? This sounds like an odd manipulation tactic, right? So you're trying to manipulate the situation by saying, hey, I'm gonna leave you, and then if I leave you, then you're gonna come back to me, you're gonna come back running. But oh, you didn't come back running, so now that's a problem.
I am just, continuing on, and he obviously doesn't give a shit about me. Every day that passes, I'm more and more sure of my decision to file for divorce. In my head, my heart is still catching up, but it'll get there.
Now, immediately, the first thought for most people is like, what happened? Why did you break up? What's going on? Why would he immediately just push away? It seems rather odd, but it does happen. Sometimes, hey, you cut it off, I'm moving forward. So let's get some context behind it.
I don't know how my last video ended up on Incel TikTok.
I think what makes this odd is that I think it just ends up like on relationship TikTok. I think the stitches that I've seen from others, they're not incels. I think a couple of them are like married dudes and married women.
But it did. And I know that the little incel pea brains cannot comprehend that a woman can do things for her.
I don't think it's that at all. It's that in your story, you said you left him and he went on and moved on with his life, and you haven't moved on with yours. So everybody's like, okay, and?
But my husband was abusive, and I left him because he cheated on me multiple times, and he's ready to move out. And he was overall just a terrible person. He was emotionally, psychologically, verbally, financially abusive, and I moved out because I was sick of it.
Well, good for you. You moved out. I think the one portion that no one's really talked about in any one of their stitches is that I think you still are emotionally attached to this individual, despite the fact that they did some sort of trauma to you. So here's my suggestion. You need to seek therapy in order to not repeat the cycle of being in a relationship that is clearly abusive to you, both mentally and potentially financially. Now, this, of course, is coming all from your perspective. In his case, it might have been a situation where he felt like maybe you were being manipulative in multiple instances, such as sounds like in the very beginning of this video, you're being very manipulative in terms of, I'm gonna leave and then you're gonna come running back to me. And he's like, nah, I'm done with that.
I think that there's a lot of women who have a similar story to mine, and that's honestly really sad. I'm so sorry if you've ever been through any sort of abuse. And I know that my marriage could have been a lot worse, but it was still bad. And there's a lot of men, and some women, unfortunately, that are in my comments saying that they don't believe me.
Even if for some reason others don't believe you, you should definitely seek therapy, because you are still seeking to hang on to someone that clearly didn't love you in the first place. God bless. Have a great day. Good luck.